This is A.R. Neal, the relationship leader. Today I want to do a motivational speech, and I want to do a motivational speech on the topic dry, cry, and try. Dry, cry, and try. Every now and then in life we have, and all of us have, a dry period. Nobody's exempt, no matter how much money you have, no matter whatever your job status is, no matter who you know, we all go through dry periods. And dry periods are simply low periods. Dry periods are times in our life when we're at our worst. Dry periods are times when we seem like we don't have anybody or nobody to support us, seem like we're all alone. Dry periods are times that we are hurting, we're in pain. Dry periods are time when we don't have food to eat, or some might not have money to pay their bills. Dry periods are just times of just not having what's needed to survive. We all go through dry periods. I've been in a dry period personally the last 4 months. I've been in one of the worst periods in my life. I had 2 car accidents, one in August and then one in September, and then the one in September really put me back. The one in September, I was at a red light and a lady ran in the back of me and hit me while I was just waiting on the light to change. And that was just a life-altering situation for me. My car was totaled. I was at the time driving for Uber. I couldn't work anymore. Then experiencing excruciating pain in my back, not being able to work, not having any income. It was just horrible, horrible. But what I want to say to you today, that don't allow your dry period, don't allow your down period to keep you down. For me, it was a time of discovery. It was a time of examination, self-examination, being able to look at me and look at my purpose in life and what God wanted me to do and where He wanted me to go. And little did I know that it opened up the door by giving me more time to work on my goals and my purpose. And that's what I've been doing. So a lot of times we have to take the things that happen to us in a negative way and make it positive. See, we can either make things happen or watch things happen. Sometimes we watch things happen around us that are not positive, that are not productive, and they are negative, and we allow them to control us. And we can't allow things to control us, because life happens. Life happens for all of us. And I'm a living witness that life happens for all of us. George Bernard Shaw had a quote, say, the people that make it in this life are the ones that look at their circumstances the way they want them to be, and if they can't find it, they create it. Well, sometimes when you're in your low point in life and the circumstances are not going the way that you want them to go, then you have to create the circumstances the way you want them to be. Now, and that's a time of, to me, like I said again, a time of discovery. Recognizing that it may not be happening like you want it to happen, but you can make it happen the way you desire it to happen. L.C. Robinson also had a quote. He said, it doesn't matter what's happening around you, and it doesn't matter what happens to you, but the most important thing that counts is what happens inside of you. Inside of you. So we all go through our dry periods, but we can't allow the things that are happening around us and to us to control us, but we have to make sure it's what's important is what's happening inside of us. Dry periods. Even in the midst of our dry periods, you're going to have to cry sometime, or you will cry sometime. I don't know about you, but I remember when my son was about 11 or 12 years old, and I cried in front of my son, and I let go of my so-called manhood, quote unquote, and I let him see the human part of me. And He said, Daddy, why are you crying? Why are you crying? And I said, because I'm hurting. I'm hurting. And I didn't mind expressing that emotion to him. I think sometimes as men that we don't allow our children to see the emotional side and the human side of who we are. And he learned from that it's all right to cry. Even as a man, it's all right to cry. And that in this situation, in my dry period, as I was talking about earlier, I cried. I cried tears of pain because sometimes life hurts. And sometimes you get disappointed and you wonder why those that you thought would be there, that they're not there. Those you thought that would help you, they're not there. And you cry. But then you also cry tears of joy. I cried tears of joy. And the tears of joy was because for everybody that wasn't there, there were 2 or 3 people that have been there. And I thank God for people that have been there and that have said, I see your pain, I see your need, and here I am to help you. Here I am. You have a friend. And see, a lot of times what we forget is that sometimes the seed we sow is the seeds that will grow. And you do good to people, and people will do good to you. So I like the fact that the sun shines more than it rains. And I've cried more tears of joy and more tears of happiness than I have of pain. Finally, I want to talk about trying. Dry, cry, try. If you don't try, then you'll fail. But behind every failure is success. And you got to not be afraid to strive to meet your goals, your dreams, but you got to try. You got to make an effort to move forward, to do what you are called to do, to fulfill your purpose in life. Hey, if you don't do it, as Miles Monroe say, many visions, many dreams, many books are in the grave. They were never recognized. They were never recognized because those folks didn't try to accomplish what was inside of them. I'm at a point in my life now that I'm not going to let anything stop me from going where I know I'm going to be. That means success is not common. That means that if everybody would do what they're supposed to do to succeed, then there wouldn't be anybody who would fail. So success is doing a lot of small things greatly. But don't allow your dry period to stop you. Don't allow the days that you had to cry stop you. Don't allow those that said you couldn't do, those that said you can't do. Don't allow that to stop you from doing, from succeeding, from making it. Mother Teresa had a quote. She said, Lord, I know you said you wouldn't put more on me than I can bear, but I wish you didn't have so much confidence in me. I want to say to you this morning that God won't put more on you than you can bear. And only because he knows that you can handle it is that he allows a certain amount of pressure, a certain amount of pain to attack you. But he has confidence in us. And that's why he allows it, because he knows we can handle it. This has been A.R. Neal, the relationship leader. And don't forget that, yes, it's going to be dry sometime. You're going to have to cry sometime, but you keep trying. You have a great day. Be blessed.